You guys, I want to welcome you back to another episode of Pistons Talk Podcast presented by FanDuel. I have a very special guest. He's a Detroit Bad Boys editor, Lazarus Jackson. Laz, welcome to the show, man. How you been?
I've been good. Going to Game 7 in person and seeing the team lay an egg like that to end the season was not fun. But the rest of the playoffs have been really enjoyable. The finals have been good to watch. And so, things are good. Things are good. Well, we're leaving that in the past. Let's talk about the future.
Yeah, let's do. I forgot you were like a season ticket holder, so you're at a lot of games. You're at a lot of games.
I was at
Did
a bunch of playoff games this year. Yeah, it was quite the environment. Had a really good time.
Did you wear the T-shirt?
I did wear the. Not only did I wear the T-shirt, I've got the towels. I've got the towels on the table next to me because there's no good place to put them. I need some push pins or something, put them in the wall or something. I haven't done that yet, so I just got them out on the kitchen table because you never know when you're going to need a towel in the kitchen.
I will say the merch did step up with the giveaways. The one game I went to, I'm mad that I went through the side door because they gave away fake Cartiers with Hutch jewelry, and I didn't get any.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, why did I go on the side and I did skip the line though, which if people don't know, if you kind of go in the Chevrolet Plaza, where they're serving food, you can kind of sneak in there and get around the huge lines, which that's probably not going to be a secret anymore because everyone will probably do that next season. I got in there so fast, 2 seconds. Damn, that was quick.
So what game was that? Was it game 5? One game that had a season ticket holder event out at the and that Budweiser Plaza outside. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'm a season ticket holder. I want to see what's up. And it's no, this is for the extra special ones. Who's your rep? Did you get a reservation? And I'm like, oh, no. And I was just I can't just drink beer and hobnob with the other people who isn't no. It's all right, well, fine, sure, okay.
Dang, man. I guess there's levels to this shit.
There's absolutely levels to this, man.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe after 5 years of second season ticket ownership, I can get into the fancy parties.
Maybe, man. I know I got invited out to a Pistons suite with a couple content creators, and they just put on a show, man. I was just like, why? Oh, you're giving me that for free? I'm like, you know how much this costs? They're like, yeah, we know. I was like, okay, I'll take it. Thanks. I still got to get this. They gave me a Ron Holland signed Pistons hat that I have to get framed.
Nice.
Because I was like, I hope it doesn't get traded, but
yeah, me too.
That'll be my luck draw. Every time I get a jersey, they get traded. That's why I haven't bought a K jersey or any type of jersey.
I think a K jersey is probably pretty safe to buy.
Yeah, I think the last two jerseys I have is your cover photo, Seiko and Killian. I still have us. We got to update your cover photo though, man. It's been a minute.
Oh wait, is my cover? Oh, it is. Ooh, okay, yeah, we will update that. I can update that. It's been a minute. My profile picture changed, but oh man, yeah, okay, yeah, we can fix that. We can fix that. I can buy something.
Yeah, it's French Revolution, days when we were buying into hope.
It was look how far we've come, right?
We're falling for KOC draft boards. We're yeah, we're getting a prospect better than LaMelo Ball. Let's go.
Oh man.
Oh, we're gonna have a good show, you guys. We're gonna get into a lot of different topics. Pistons offseason pathways, which I think they can actually take a couple different directions. Get into some extension talk with Jalen Duren and Sar Thompson. Isaiah Stewart's name could be in possible trade conversations per Amari Sankofa of Detroit Free Press. Shout out to him. Tobias Harris has a strong desire to return to Detroit. We'll see if that does actually happen. I know Cody Davis did break the story first. And we'll get to some free agents and NBA draft stuff to end the podcast. But it should definitely be a good show. Ben, Kevin O'Killian, you're wild for that, Ben. That's why I love him, man. He's been an OG subscriber for 6 years. He's still on my ass for wanting Killian over Tyrese Halliburton. He reminds me every time I do a podcast, I told you. But hey, you guys got to keep me in line. But I wanted to kind of get into a conversation with you about like this offseason, like what the Pistons could possibly do. What's kind of like your mindset? Do you think they'll do like a small marginal moves like they've done the past couple of off seasons? Maybe a semi free agency splash, maybe a trade, or do you think they'll kind of go the big fish hunting, like all the names that we've heard, like Kawhi, Kyrie, Trey Murphy?
Yeah. So when I was listening to the Trajan presser after the season, that did not sound like a person who was like ready to throw in a bunch of picks to try and get
Yeah.
like Trey Murphy. And so I do think they'll make some unsatisfying but solid moves on the edges. I do wonder about like how there are different levels of unsatisfying, right? Like if you arrange your signings in such a way that you get like the full non-tax player mid-level, you can actually get like a pretty quality player with that. And then it's like, okay, Tobias wants to be back. I think it'd be good to bring Tobias back, but like at what number, right? Because maybe I'm looking at the Bulls as like one of the few teams with cap space who like may have a desire to be good, or at least to take a look at the bottom of the Eastern Conference and say to themselves like, oh, like if we wanted to push the accelerator, we could. And he could fulfill a similar type of role in Detroit of like, hey, veteran presence, like organizational, like steadfast player, like give them a solid baseline. And they might be willing to pay him a little bit more than we'd be willing to, or it might be convenient for us to do in order to make that happen. Just things like that. But I do think I don't think you're going to get Trey Murphy. I don't think you're getting Lauri Markkanen. I have a pet sign and trade that I don't think will happen that we can talk about, but that like I'm not worried about. Like I don't think you're going to get Tyler Hero, for example. Anybody who like more casual fans of like, oh, like that guy's a like 20 point per game scorer, like you're probably not getting him, and that's okay. That's okay. They won 60 games last year. I think if they win 50 and shore up the bench lineups and come into the season with like a plan more than Tobias at the 4, I think they'll be fine.
I could totally see them kind of like running it back in a sense with like Tobias, and maybe you bring Dana's back, and like I could totally see them saying like, hey, Dean Wade, come on down. We need a backup power forward. Yeah. Like I could totally see like under the radar moves, maybe have a reunion with a Tim Hardaway Jr. because he was just like so good for the Nuggets last year. Like I really felt like when we had Tim and Beasley, like we had two shooters. Like if one guy didn't have it one night, on most nights it seemed like someone was making threes. Yeah. Like this year we really didn't have that. Like Duncan just had to at least make 3 or 4 threes just to kind of give us a chance to, stay in these games and win these games. It felt like from a sense, but I could totally see them being just like very marginal. I'd be really shocked if like draft night we get Kyrie Irving or, to your point, Lauri Markkanen, because we've heard in past like what Danny Ainge wants for Lauri. It's like starts at a SAR and we're probably hanging up the phone. It's like, yeah, we're good. We're good at there. We're good there.
Precisely.
But I mean, it'll be interesting what they like try to do. I'm just like, I feel like they could go semi big move, but they could also just like be really small. Like semi big move to me, maybe you kind of see what's going on with Peyton Watson, possibly.
It does seem like Denver is not willing to pay all of their guys. So they need somebody to take Christian Brown in order to like pay Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson is dating Jordan Woods' younger sister, I think, if I remember that correctly. And like, it's Hollywood stuff, so I don't even know if that's still the case. But that always made my like eyeballs go up. And it's like, and the Lakers have cap space. It's like, and he'd be really good for them. And it's like, he's dating Woods. Like, maybe he wants the limelight. Maybe you're willing to take like a little bit less to go play in LA. And we know guys are willing to do that. So I've already kind of like mentally like shunted him into there. But I've seen a lot more people like notice that as the Denver's doing things in with their cap machinations. It's like maybe they get Cam Johnson as a cost-cutting measure or something, right? Like, and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, my only thing with him is like I don't know how many games I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
Um, I
yeah.
know it might have been a few seasons ago where he was actually relatively healthy. But I felt like he really struggled in his role in Denver. Like it wasn't the same role in Brooklyn, which was probably a big adjustment period from playing from like a team that was like really low in the standings in the East to playing for a Western Conference playoff team.
Mhm.
And he's always spoken really highly of Cade and the Pistons and kind of talked about his game and why he felt like Cade's game could complement his. Maybe you have him as like a backup power forward or maybe a starting power forward. I don't really know what Tobias wants to do and how many games he'll hold up because I felt like this was the first year where like he actually had like more injuries than he did his first year with us.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think it's like Cam and Tobias would make like a nice pairing, right? You could lean on one instead of having to lean on both of them. I think who was talking about this? Was it like the Low Post, the whatever the Zach Lowe show is now?
Mhm.
It's talking a little bit about how Cam Johnson had to play without the ball in his hands in Denver, just because there's a lot more dudes with the ball in their hands, and how he
Yeah.
had to like adjust from that, and like maybe if he got to be more in rhythm, get more shots, get more drives, that he'd be a more effective player. I think there's definitely like something to that, but I also don't think that like you mentioned, availability is always like a really big concern with Cam Johnson. And then perhaps like if you're giving him the ball more, would that tax him? Would that like make it worse? So something you got to consider for sure.
Someone on Facebook said Jeremy Grant reunion. I'm not opposed to that, but
Jeremy makes a lot of money, like a
yeah,
lot.
that's where I'm at too. Like to me, like I think like even though he's not like a big name, that to me would kind of be like a big move
Mhm.
because he kind of makes like the tier of players that you would consider a big move, even though he's just not like a sexy name for a lot of Pistons fans. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but like
Yeah.
he'd have to move some pieces to probably make it work financially.
So what do you think of John Collins? Is that like a big name for you? Is that a big move?
Man, I've been wanting John Collins since Atlanta, and I've seen so many Pistons fans I love Keith. Shout out to Keith. Like every time I mention John Collins, he's like terrible defender. You don't want him. I was like, bro, like I don't care about the defense. I want to stretch forward. Like I want someone that's like kind of like a bouncy power forward. Like, could you imagine like the lobs that Cade is gonna throw him like in the front
Mhm.
court? Like I
Mhm.
would love that.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on him just because I think there's a world in where you could actually like get him for the non-taxpayer MLE, and like if you could somehow like get him and Tobias, like that would be like a really good pairing, right? Because then you could play Collins at the 5 in like some lineups, which means you can play him and Harris together. If you play him at the 5, all of a sudden like you have like a quote unquote like spacing 5, something we've
Mhm.
really been looking forward next to Cade. So you could play Asar in lineups with like Asar is the only like non-shooter, another like thing that the team has been trying to unlock forever. So yeah, I've been interested in John Collins for sure. That's like one of the names like higher on my list.
Yeah, I go back and forth with like him and then like Rui Hachimura, which I think Rui would make more sense in like a half court setting. I don't know if
Mhm.
like he could be. I'm not saying like he's like out of shape by any means, but like I don't know if he's the type of athlete that could like be running and keeping up with like Asar and Cade, just like running up and down the court.
Yeah, Rui doesn't like talking about Keith. Like Keith would like hate Rui. Like Rui's a really bad defender, like a truly like noticeably bad defender. But big time playoff riser, shoots consistently really well from 3 in the playoffs. I mean, it probably helps that he's getting fed by LeBron James and Luka Doncic for a bunch of that, but still, just another guy I think would be interesting, but I do think he probably is looking for like a payday, right? He's probably looking for somewhere in the like the Cam Johnson like 25 to like 28 range. And
Yeah, I know
we don't have that much money. We can't do it.
Rob's got probably one of my favorite players that I wanted the Pistons to trade for on Facebook, Bobby Portis. Like I'd love a Bobby Portis. The only thing is, like, I don't know if him and Stu could be in the same locker room together.
Bobby's getting older. The Bobby Portis like 4 years ago would be perfect.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis of today is not nearly as good a like defender and rebounder as he used to be. And so I do think that like it might just be like a little bit too late on that one. But
The three,
not a bad. If Milwaukee's tearing everything down, they're holding a fire sale. You get them for like Sasser and like a second round pick or something. Like sure, why not?
yeah, the 3-point shooting this year surprised me because like when I was looking like at his percentages, I was like, wow, he's shooting like high 40s from three. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, why isn't nobody talking about this? It's just like Giannis is unhappy. Bobby Portis is almost shooting 45% from three. Like, oh, like what are we doing, NBA? Like, what are we doing, man? But yeah, I mean, I feel like Bobby is just kind of like a culture fit. Like, I feel like he would just fit into the Detroit space for sure. But again, I think there's a lot of pathways that the Pistons are going to take. I could totally see it just being very small moves, and the fan base
not
having
all stars, right?
no, yeah, like I feel like a lot of the players that are talked about are very expensive, and like you're talking about like either moving off of Duran or deciding to move off a Sar or possibly even Ron, in my opinion, anyways. And not to say that I wouldn't be opposed to trying to make a splash. I just kind of wonder a lot of the guys that are available. The kind of like I don't want to say they're past their primes, but I kind of worry about like how long could they actually hold up? Like how long could a Kawhi Leonard hold up? Like he played 65 games this year. Like he could play 35 going into this season,
and like played 65 because he's where he wants to be. If he's somewhere he doesn't want to be, how motivated can you get that guy to play if something does happen, right? Like, I don't think like Kawhi's a great player. I don't know if he's what the Pistons would be looking for.
I feel like they're kind of looking for a guy between like 26 and 27 they could grow with, and that's kind of like Trey Murphy, but like I feel like his asking price is so high that like if the Pelicans get it, like if they get like Jaylen Brown offered on their their table, they probably take it. I would assume because it doesn't look like they're going to rebuild, especially with the ownership down there. They're talking to some Pelican guys, like they're like, yeah, there's no way they're going to go rebuild. They're just going to try to compete in a really stacked Western Conference. So I mean, if they're willing to give up Jaylen Brown, like the conversation probably starts with the SAR, I would assume.
Yeah. And that's not a trade I would really want to make. I think Asar is just like so fundamentally important to this team's identity in a way that makes him like functionally untradeable for me. Like, do I hope he gets better offensively? Like, yes. Like, do I like see the like Club 520 guys like making fun of the fact that like he won't shoot 10 footers? Like, yes. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I go to these games, like I have pretty good seats. Like you see what he's able to do on a basketball court, and it's from even if it's only on defense, like quote unquote, like only on defense, it's still just like so far beyond what other people are capable of. And like these are other NBA athletes, so he just can't. He's irreplaceable, right? There's no if they made you pick between like Asar and Duran, right? Like there are other centers who can give you like 80% of what like Jalen Duran does for this team. There are not too many guys who can give you like 80% of what Asar does defensively. Like there just aren't.
Yeah, it's the conversation I was having last week of like who's more important as like I know a lot of people like having like rankings of like having Cade's up here, and I was like Asar's right here. Asar's like right under Cade in terms of this like most important Pistons to me, because I feel like if you don't have Asar, you probably don't have a top 5 defense in the NBA.
Yeah,
you just don't. He's just too important, and the fact that he was like what 3rd in defensive player of the year already, like his first healthy offseason and season, like he's only going to get better like technique wise. So I feel like he gets away like a lot with his athleticism. Like if he gets like more technical sound defensively, like you're just talking about an absolute monster.
Yeah, I mean like Toumani Camara made all defense last year, is like a really, really, really good on-ball defender, like big event creator, like lots of steals. And like if you traded Asar for Toumani Camara, like straight up, like you don't have a top 5 defense, right? You just don't. He's that impactful.
Yeah, 100%. Who knows who Portland's coach is going to be? Because sounds like I don't even know, man, who would want that job because that owner sounds like he's cheap as hell.
It was like Jeff Van Gundy was like on their like short list. It was like, really? Like that's the direction? I was like, okay, sure.
I mean, you might as well just they don't even have a G League team, do they? I don't think so.
Yeah, they do. The Rip City Remix or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was gonna say, might as well just hire the G League coach because he'll probably take $1 million because that's like probably like way above his budget. But I mean, that's pretty crazy, man. Like I would have just kept Thiago Splitter because I thought he did a pretty good job, though. That's just me.
And if like you had just like made Thiago Splitter a real offer, I'm sure you probably could have, but he didn't even want to do that. So it was just like, okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going to be up with them. They're a really interesting team too. It's just,
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind a Drew Holiday. I'm just saying that, but
Drew Holiday was a guy who might shake free. It was like if you could get him for a song, for and purely for a 16-game run, type of run like that. That's another very intriguing piece for the team.
And I was talking with Zarek about this, and like I was kind of thinking about it. Like he mentioned like DeJounte Murray, and then like someone mentioned like Drew Holiday, and I was like, okay, you want like a really good on-ball defender with Cade that can self-create, so maybe Cade can play a little bit off ball, and he's not as taxed playing defense. It's like okay, I can kind of see the vision a little bit.
Yeah. The problem with Drew is that he makes like $37 million for the next like 2 years, which is not cheap. Not cheap.
No, it's cheaper than what Jalen Durham might want, though.
That is true. That is true. The reported numbers we've seen for Duran give me some pause. Like on one hand, like yeah, he is a really good player and he was really important for this team during the regular season. On the other hand, like it's not even him. It's like I just struggle with the concept of giving any center who isn't really a rim protector and doesn't space the floor like that much money, right? Like it's just a tough ask from how do we fill out the rest of the roster situation. Like you see Houston running into this with Sengun, right? Like Sengun's basically trade bait now because he can't defend well enough under Ime, right?
Yeah, I've saw so many highlights this year of just Ime just like bitching him out like crazy. I was like, yo, like it's not a good not a good look.
Yeah, like KD or Get Off My Dickerson was maybe mean spirited in some of his critiques about individual players on the Houston Rockets. Not totally incorrect. Not totally incorrect though.
For people that don't know what you're talking about, they're probably like, why did you just say that? Apparently that was Kevin Durant's burner account on Twitter. But people are gonna be like, dude, what the hell did Lazarus say? I can already hear the comments like on YouTube. I can already hear like they're gonna like probably like do the timestamp exactly because I know how my subscribers are. They're immature as hell, but I kind of wanted to talk to you about like the extensions. We kind of touched on Jalen Duren and like the reported number. Apparently, there was a huge gap between like what the organization wants to offer and what Jalen Duren's camp wants to offer. Also have Asar Thompson, who's extension eligible. To you, who would be like more important on your list to get an extension done?
It's definitely Asar. Not only because his extension will kick in later and probably be cheaper than Jalen Duren's, but because like I talked about earlier, he's just more functionally core to your identity as a team. And so like you prioritize getting that guy done.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not in love with paying a center $40 million just because defensively I think that's what he's going to be. maybe he gets a little bit better, but I
Yeah.
never see Jalen Durham make an all defensive team, even though someone did vote all defense. I think defensive of the player of the year. He got one vote. I don't know who voted for him there, but I would
Sure.
love to. I would love just to see a ballot, like NBA media members' ballots, is kind of like leaked out like everybody, because I think it would honestly just be comedy on Twitter for like a week.
Oh man, it'd be great. But yeah, if I thought Duran would like take another level or take another leap like defensively, like you might be able to get me there. But he's never really been a shot blocker, both from like a technique and like a mentality perspective. He's never really been he prefers to like box guys out or like elevate over guys and
Mhm.
get the rebound rather than like chase blocks, which is like okay, that's his preference. Um, he's gotten a lot more comfortable in different types of defensive coverages. I think that he there were times even against like Cleveland where I was like, oh okay, like yeah, he's executing the scheme really well, and he looks like he knows what he's supposed to be doing. Um, but he's never you rarely feel like his impact come from that side of the floor, right? His
Yeah.
impact is more about like what he can offer offensively, both as a like kind of sort of creator if you look funny, and then as a guy who plays off of Cade, right? Um, so I mean, I think that I don't think he's like Duran's not a bad player. He's very clearly like a very good player. He just might be a like a the archetype of player that's not super duper valuable in today's NBA.
Yeah, like the offensive growth I thought was great because it was like you're just gonna, put the ball on the floor more dribble drives, which more power to him. I mean,
Yeah.
I felt like Draymond Green like put it perfectly this year. He's just like, yeah, he was big, but he didn't actually know how to use his 250-pound frame. Like I felt like a lot of times in the regular season, he was able just to out bully opposing centers and just get to the free throw line or finish with either hand. But
Yeah.
to your point, like I know the mid-range jump shot is still a behind the scenes thing. Like I know when I was talking to the guard whisperer last year, he said it's still a work in progress. Like they're gonna, try to do more of that this upcoming off season, try to get like, those 12 to 15-foot elbow jump shots, more of a consistent thing and like what they want to work on. You might see an occasional three-pointer. It's not the Andre Drummond stuff, but like, hey, it's off-season content.
It's like, hey,
Don't get mad at me.
it's like if he develops a 3-point shot like 5 years down the road, like that's great. It's not something I'm
Yeah.
expecting like on this extension. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you go pregame, like you'll see him working on like those mid-range jumpers. And so like I do believe like the desire is there and like maybe he gets there. Then the question just becomes like how valuable is like a guy who shoots a bunch of like 17 footers on offense for you, right? Like does that do a lot for you in today's NBA?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know a lot of people like to throw the Bam comparison, but I think Bam is a much better defender.
Hmm.
And like Bam does occasionally like hit those elbow jump shots. He has kind of developed a 3-point shot over the last couple of years. But like again, like I think Bam's contract will put him in like the top 5 of center earnings. And like if you gave Duran 40, I believe he would be right above Alper and Sengun. He'd be like the 7th high paid center in 2026.
Yeah.
So again, it's really hard to build a team when you got Cade at 50 million, him at 40, Asar maybe at 32, maybe more. Like that's 3 guys right there that are really expensive, and like we don't really have too much floor spacing around Cade.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing I will say is that like so during the regular season, like Jalen Duren had one face-up move, right? It was
Mhm.
like that low left to right cross, put the left shoulder into you, and then like finish over you. And like that worked. And then like it got scouted in the playoffs, and he just like didn't know what to do on offense anymore. So
Yeah.
you do have to hope that like if he's back next season, no matter what the contract is, he's got like some more face-up moves or like a counter to or something that works off of the left to right, right? Is like there is room for growth offensively. That doesn't just have to be like purely around like the jump shot and an extension of like how far out he can extend that jump shot. But that doesn't answer like the core question of like how impactful is he on defense, which is like what you like really need from your center in today's NBA.
Yeah, like to your point, like if he was a little bit more locked in defensively, like I'd be like, okay, like give him the 40 million. Like I'm good. Like if he's gonna
Yeah.
give me like 19 and 10 and maybe like a block, a couple steals a game, like I'm good with it. Like I don't think that he's not capable of protecting the rim. I just think his stamina is just it kind of wears on him, like to
Yeah.
try to play on both ends. I'm like, I know, like they said that he was eating like Sour Patch Kids. Like, yeah, I wonder why he was gassed in 10 minutes, and now he's eating
Yeah.
like 10 pounds of grapes apparently. So, I guess
I
it's
have consistently heard whispers about his conditioning like being something that the team is like keeping an eye on for sure.
yeah, like you can tell, like he especially in the playoffs, man, like he was dripping so much sweat that like the ball boys were like wiping the court like every time he came down, like he was just drenched out there. But like that's something that I think if he was in a little bit more like better condition, like maybe he could actually, show a little bit more defensively. It was one of the
Mhm.
games in the Magic series where he had like 5 blocks, and I was like, that's like probably the most blocks I've seen him have
Yeah.
like all season. I was like, okay, like is that gonna be like a thing you can keep on doing? And then the next game he didn't have any. So I was like, okay, like that maybe that was like everything he had for like maybe the next game or so.
For that one game, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of crazy. I did want to ask you, like, how have you been enjoying the NBA playoffs so far?
Oh man, the series between the Thunder and the Spurs was like must see TV. Like that was just absolute cinema. And so far, I've been really enjoying the finals. The Knicks, I know we're like it's like we're not supposed to root for the Knicks and we're not supposed to root for the Spurs, but I definitely just feel more animus towards the Knicks. But also I've been frustrated with the way that they've been playing because when they're playing on all cylinders, you can clearly see like they might be a better team than San Antonio. It's just that like last night they just let Jalen Brunson just like dribble for 18 straight seconds without like a real plan. It's like this is not like fun basketball. This is not the type of basketball that like leads to wins. So like I can't imagine like what Knicks fans are going through right now. If Wembanyama like makes like 2 better plays at the down the stretch of game 2, they're like down 2-1 and like kind of freaking out. So no, the playoffs have been great.
And like when Wimby mushed his face, I was like, bro, like what is going on?
How did they not catch that? How did like nobody catch that in the moment? Everybody's like, whoa.
Probably what's funny, the funniest thing about that highlight is like the mush to his face was probably like so under the radar because like Cat's trying to post up, and like Cat is probably the most unathletic big, but he's still athletic at the same time. Like when he's trying to post up, like he's like flailing his body like this. And I was more focused on Cat initially when I was watching the play. I'm like, dude, what is he doing right now? And then I see like Brunson like on the floor. I was like, what did Wemby just punch him? Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, Cat's definitely like gangly. Lots of limbs, like going places when he's trying to do stuff. And he was really frustrated last night. And like there's if Wemby's not on him, like he has great matchups to attack. But they just like don't get him the ball sometimes. And so you're just like I see why he's frustrated. Or he's just like going and then like it's like how they play Luke Cornett and you can like see the sigh of relief on his face. Like, thank God, finally, like I can just go at this guy and crush him. But yeah. And then of course, Mikal Bridges completely disappeared in game 3 after like an amazing game 2. And it's just what are we doing with this guy, man? Like
I know when I was looking at who's like favored to win game 4, I was surprised that the Knicks are still favorites. I was like
really?
really
I mean, they're the home team, right?
yeah, only a 1.5 point favorite. I thought it would be Spurs more favored just because for whatever I know the Knicks went on like that huge playoff was like 13, 14 wins in a row.
Mhm.
albeit against like the Hawks and the very depleted Cavs, which
Yeah.
I kind of think the Pistons just wore them out because they like when they were in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm just looking at their body language like, dude, they are worn out. Analytically, they're still in it though.
Yeah. Yeah. So they won 12 straight games?
Something like that, yeah.
The Knicks did. Like that, it is really, and they what was more impressive than them winning 12 straight games was that like their point differential was massive in those 12 games. But yeah, we're gonna look back and be like, yeah, like the Hawks series is like the Hawks were a fine team. Like they lost 2 games in the clutch, like it happens, and they like killed them by 50 in the deciding game. It's like, okay, good. Like that Sixers team, like the Sixers team got one healthy week of Joel Embiid, and that was enough to like knock out the Celtics. And like otherwise, they like that wasn't a very good team. And it's like, okay, so you just boat race those guys. And then Cleveland, after game 1, after Cleveland kind of blew game 1, Cleveland looked like they didn't want to be there anymore. And so like, yeah, I'm not trying to take away anything from Knicks or from the Knicks or like from Knicks fans or Knicks players, like, but it's like, yeah, like no, the run was really impressive, but it's not like they beat the
like juggernauts.
Yeah, then it's not like they beat like the 2021 Bucks to get there, right?
Yeah, like even like the Spurs pathway, I thought was a little bit more difficult than to get to the finals. Like I was just talking with a buddy of mine, like they got CJ McCollum in the Hawks, even though CJ was just hitting some crazy shots. And then they got a depleted Cavs team that said if we didn't play a 7-game series, 2 playoff series in a row, we might have beat them. I was like, well, maybe if you didn't play with your food with the Raptors and the Pistons, you would have maybe played in the finals.
If you beat the Raptors in less than 7 games, like you would have been, Cleveland was a 4 seed, right? Like
I know it's wild, man.
Yeah,
it's wild, but did want to talk about a little bit of playoffs because it's only basketball we have until like summer league, which I might just be a complete sicko and get into the summer league. Maybe I'll go this summer.
I'm gonna go to summer league. Other dudes are. I think who's going to summer league this year. I saw him talking about it on Twitter. It's a good time. It's a good time.
It looks fun.
So last year I got to hear Danis Jenkins shit talk Tyler Kolek like up close and personal for like the entire second half of that game. It was great. It's just like it's a basketball experience like you don't get to be a part of like as closely as you normally do.
That's hilarious that he was his dog walking Tyler Kolek. I'm trying to think who else he did. Oh, Reed Shepherd.
Yeah, Reed Shepherd. Yeah, Reed played really poorly in the first half and then like kind of like shook it off and played better in the second half. But I think it's still won the game.
I remember I had a tweet in the chamber. I was like, this was a top 5 pick, and then it's still in the drafts because Danis was just like on him like all summer league. I was like, I'm glad I did not fire that off. Don't need Rockets Twitter coming from my head, but because I know how they are. They get people's accounts like suspended and canceled.
Yeah.
I did want to kind of get into the Isaiah Stewart news, which I'm sure you saw as well. He could be in trade talks. I just want to say, I feel like he's been in trade talks since we drafted him. Like I feel like every summer, like he's in trade talks. But like, do you think this is the year that they might try to sell high on him?
So like James Edwards used to talk about this all the time. Is like the reason Stu's in trades talks is because other teams want Stu. And like back when James was covering the team, like there were a few other players on the team like other teams wanted, and like Stu was one of them. I think Stu is it's partially because like other teams do probably want Stu. He is a really impactful player and is like 25 minutes a night. But the other thing is like, again, from a roster construction standpoint, if you're paying Stu like 15, 16 million and you're paying Duren 40 million, you're getting $55 million worth of center rotation minutes, and like that's not super great. It's like maybe it makes more sense to just split those minutes or split that salary a little bit differently. Could you get Paul Reed for like $8 million and have him do a lot of what you're getting from Stu, from an event creation standpoint, if not like a rim protection standpoint? And like, yeah, Paul Reed's like a really, really valuable Piston to have. Does the fact that he's so valuable make Stu expendable? Like a little bit for sure. But I also maintain that Stu was injured. I know he said he wasn't injured. I know Trajan said he wasn't injured. You could clearly tell. Like I was there for those Cleveland games. Like he was not like moving right. Like he had been moving earlier in the playoffs. And so like that plays into it as well. But the style of play he plays leads you to believe that like, yeah, this is a guy who might just not be able to stay healthy in the playoffs. This is the second straight year he's run into an injury in the playoffs. So yeah, I Stu also like really fits the identity of the
Yeah.
team, not to the level of Asar, but his ability to like come in, protect the paint, and be undersized, and uh, really like create space for himself to get rebounds and for the team to get rebounds, and space the floor like a little tiny bit is really valuable for this team. I think he brings like the mentality you want the team to have. Um, but if he's not going to be healthy for the playoffs, and he's going to continue to be used in a very limited way offensively, then you understand why his name is in trade talks. He'd be like Stu would be like an amazing Celtic, right? Like they need a
Yeah.
big man who can do what he does like so badly, right? Stu would be like a really good he'd be like a really good Thunder, right? That sounds weird to say it like that, but he'd be really good in OKC, right? Like
Yeah.
able to protect the rim. You could play him like next to Chet. Um, like they probably let him space the floor a little bit more than his coaching staff does, and so like he'd be really good in those situations, and they wouldn't have to lean on him too much because they've already have like other centers. So yeah, I don't want to trade Stu. I think Stu's very valuable. I think he's an important part of this team, but I understand why. And depending on what the return is, I'm not going to be like super duper torn up about it. Yeah, Cruz, a good point. Like he'd be great for the Lakers as well.
Feel like it'd be great for almost every NBA team because like just the shot blocking. But I'm glad you brought up like the injury thing in the playoffs because I think I found the highlight where he did like kind of like hurt his knee. It was a block against the Magic and he felt
Mm-hmm.
extremely hard. And he grabbed his knee right away and then he just kind
Mm-hmm.
of hobbled back onto the court.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people like Pistons fans are pointing out like, dude, he's got no lift anymore. Like he can't even protect the rim anymore. And I remember reading that piece from the Detroit News saying like, I'm not injured. I'm 100% healthy. It just didn't look like it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I feel like if Stu does get traded, I do understand why Pistons fans would be extremely upset. Longest tenured Piston, kind of just like the heart and soul of the team. I shouldn't say kind of. He is the heart and soul of the team. I could understand why Pistons fans would be upset of them even entertaining it. But to your point, like if Dern's getting 40, Stu's on 15 million for the next 2 years, so 30 million still committed to Stu. Paul Reed's still on your roster. It's just hard. I mean, I've seen people saying like I'd rather just roll with Isaiah Stewart at starting center. And it's just like I don't know if you could get
I
Isaiah
don't know if you
Stewart
get away with
for
that.
he just plays way too physical at 110% all the time. Where like when you see him protect the rim, he sacrifices his body for a block. Like I think if you start Stu, you'd be lucky to get 35, 40 games out of him because just the way he plays and how physical he is, he's much better suited off of the bench against second unit. Not to say that he couldn't start in a pinch, but like he
It
just plays so physical and like it's just a matter of time before he has like a really major injury and you're kind of stuck with them too.
Yeah. I think what I would say, I would agree with you, and what I would say is that it's really hard for me to imagine playing Stu. If Stu played 35 minutes a night the way he currently plays, like I don't know if he could maintain like the level of intensity he brings, right?
Yeah.
And so at that point, it's like, is he less effective or does he get hurt? Right? Does he get hurt trying to like be that effective over that long time period, or is he just like trying to conserve energy and missing a lot of what like makes him special as a defender?
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult situation. I think the only reason why he is in like a lot of these trade conversations is just because in my opinion, I think he's one of the most valuable assets this team has. Like when you're
Yeah.
talking about the like trade assets, like he's on a mid-level exception, basically. I know a lot of us hated the contract when Troy gave it to him. We're like, really, $60 million? But like, you know, that contract is
pretty
aged.
good. Yeah.
It aged beautifully. Maybe Troy knew what he was doing. Maybe he knew what he was doing with the contract extensions. I'll just say that. But it wouldn't surprise me if they did move on from him. But at the same time, I could definitely see him being on the roster for next season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another Piston that wants to come back is Tobias Harris. Now, I know we talked about it a little bit. Obviously, it's not going to be at the $26 million price point that he was on. Do you think if they do bring him back, he would still be the starting power forward, or maybe they try to get a power forward via trade or free agency?
I think it depends on the other moves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it does make me feel better about it that he is like he's interested in coming back, right? Like he wants to be back on this team. And I think he's getting to a point in his career where he would be accepting of a smaller but still significant role. I think you could bring him off the bench as a sixth man and like pay him like pretty good money, and he'd be okay with that, right? I think he knows how valuable he is to what this team has accomplished like over the last couple of years, and I think he would like to continue to see that through. But I do think that like he really stepped up in the playoffs in the Magic series in particular. But there were a lot of times like during the regular season where he couldn't bring that level of like offensive impact every single night. And so like, yeah, it would make sense to get like a John Collins or like a Rui Hachimura or like some other 4-man to come in there and be like and give you like a little bit more oomph offensively. But that doesn't take away like how effective like Tobias was for this team this past season, and how and maybe in a smaller role he could maintain that effectiveness like over the course of the season.
My dream for him is kind of to take the Al Horford role. Like,
yeah,
you want to come back, maybe be a 6-man off the bench. Like, I don't know if he could still be as consistent going into next season, because it kind of seemed like he had that calf injury, he had a hip injury that kept flaring up. Like Donovan Mitchell, like I thought he broke his hip when he fell, but it looks like he just stepped on his foot during the playoffs. I was like, bro, like I get it. I'm in my 30s too. Like if I wake up the wrong way, my hips like all out of the socket. I was like, yo, holy.
You got to get the kettlebell, man. You got to get the kettlebell going. That's the only thing that's keeping me strong these days.
I'm gonna have to invest in 1 minute, sir. But I don't expect him to be like a long-term solution for the Pistons, because they do need to try to find a long-term power forward with Cade Cunningham to grow with. I know someone in the comment section saying like trade for Santi Aldama. I really don't know what Memphis wants to do. His contract isn't too crazy, but I don't really know if Santi, to me, like I would be in love with Santi Aldama in the starting lineup with the Pistons. Like I really wouldn't. Like there's not too many power forwards that like I would like actively be pretty excited about that we could get on the cheap.
Yeah.
Trades, that's different. Like on the cheap, I really don't see too many power forwards. Like I mentioned Dean Wade. Like I think a lot of Pistons fans would absolutely hate that, but like it's like a cost-effective move that you could probably put in the starting lineup.
Yeah, it's like, didn't we just beat this guy, or like didn't we just like play this guy in the playoffs and he's like wasn't like that great? But yeah, no, you're right in that. That is a very like cost-effective move that would probably be pretty good for the team.
Yeah, I think I read that they wanted to bring him back, but it sounds like they want to run it back too as much as possible. But
they're like second apron to the moon though. Like I don't even know if they can bring everybody.
No, I know. Like, they want to bring Keon Ellis. They want to bring everybody back. I think Dennis Schroeder's going to have to find another team. I could totally see him getting traded again, man. Like
more than a Schroeder, man. Just like 17 different jerseys. Like
I think he's going to beat Ish Smith's record. I think it felt like Ish played for like half of the association. Pistons legend.
Yeah.
I know we kind of talked about free agent targets. You're probably like John Collins, which I think a lot of Pistons fans, myself, are really high on it. Are there any other free agents that you look at possibly?
Yeah, the other guy that I think this team could really use is Anthony Simons.
Okay.
Just as a microwave 3-level scorer who has been in this league like a long time at this point, but is still like youngish because he came in so early.
Yeah.
Can play with the ball in his hands, can play with the ball out of his hands. Um, good catch and shoot guy, can create his own shot. Just like really can just score the basketball, and you don't need him to do much else. That's the guy I've been kind of looking at because after Chicago, I don't know what his value is around the league. But like that's a guy who can do a lot of what you were hoping Karis LeVert would do for you, but do it at a better level. So yeah, Simons is the other guy I kind of have my eye on.
I know a lot of Pistons fans have really talked about like Anthony Simons, which I felt like his role in Boston was so weird because like there were
I
times
mean,
where he would start over Shaden Sharp for Chauncey Billups when he was coaching before he
mhm.
got caught with the gambling investigations, and then like Boston barely used him, and then Chicago played him for 3 games. Then Billy Donovan's like, "Yeah, you're out. Like, let's do it. I got like 15 guards I got to play. Sorry, man."
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well,
I
in Boston, him and Pritchard like kind of have the same role, and
yeah,
Pritchard was more established, like 6 man of the year and stuff. And so it's like, all right, like you do the exact same thing as this guy, but like we know him better, we're more familiar with him, and plus like you're only going to be here for a year or less, like anyway. So just kind of like get in how you fit in, and he still kind of did. He was still like pretty good for them in spots. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm just like I think he'd be a really good fit.
I feel like the shooting guards that people want mostly is like CJ McCollum, which I don't really think you can get CJ unless you overpay for him because it sounds like
Yeah,
Atlanta wants to re-sign him.
yeah.
Norm Powell's another one. Again, like I think Miami wants to re-sign him as quick as possible because it looks like they might be in the Giannis sweepstakes. We'll
We'll
see. I'm
see.
not I'm
It's like
not
if
sure.
they trade for Giannis, they're gonna need Norm Powell there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, maybe Kobe White. Maybe you could get him for MLE.
I think Charlotte was also like pretty interested in bringing back Kobe White. He was pretty good for them.
He
Um,
won that playing game.
yeah. So like from like went to UNC, like has love for the
Yeah.
Carolinas. So like I think that I think that that's kind of locked in as well. But no, I'm not opposed to Kobe White if he wants to come here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of Pistons fans, like a lot of the guys that I'm naming, like they're probably going to re-sign with the teams that they're,
Yeah, like
you know,
I would
go-
assume he's like
yeah,
gonna be fine. Like
yeah, that's exactly who I was going to talk about next. Like he's probably going to get 20 million from Minnesota just to stay there.
yeah,
They need as much ball handlers to kind of help Ann out and kind of take that scoring load off, but
yeah.
apparently, he was almost a Piston if we would have gave him a young prospect, which, I mean, I don't know what they were asking for, but, I mean, they got Rob Dillingham. I mean, it couldn't have been that expensive. Like, nah.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, they got Desunu for like 5 second-round picks, right? Like that
Yeah.
was that
Yeah.
trade.
I
This
think
doesn't have any second-round picks. This is like, I guess Marcus Sasser wasn't good enough to qualify. Also, like Sasser was supposed to be this guy, right? Like Sasser's a
yeah.
first-round pick, and it's just like it's become pretty clear to me that like Sasser's like not in this team's long-term plans, and I
No,
don't know how to feel
no,
about that.
no. Like, he's like a break the glass type of emergency. It's like, oh, yeah, I have Marcus Sasser. Come on in. Let's just like,
Yeah.
it's,
If he could put pressure on the rim, like we could talk, but it's step backs and like that's kind of it.
yeah, like they tried to make him into a point guard, and it's just like, I'd rather you not. Like, I'd rather like if you're just gonna, I'd rather Danis just have those
Yeah,
ball reps of kind of
yeah,
just being the playmaker out there. Like,
yeah.
I know we're gonna talk about some draft prospects next, but it's like I saw Sam Vazini's report earlier this week, and so many Pistons fans crashed out on that. I was just like, bro, like a lot of those players that they could be in those range would actually be contributors at 21. But
Yeah.
free agency is pretty bad this year outside of like
free agency is not great this year. And we're, as long as the contract extension rules in the CBA remain the same, we're going to continue to see free agency be kind of meh, because it's super advantageous for the team and the player to just resign. So
someone said bring Marvin Bagley back. I'm about to block you if I see that again.
Marvin Bagley wasn't terrible for the Pistons, wasn't terrible for the Grizzlies. I think that's where he was. I don't hate it. As long as you acknowledge that like he's purely a regular season innings eater, but like he was pretty good at that. So don't hate it.
I can't do it. I can't go backwards. Like I can't, man. Like he's an okay player, but like I need more than like a C+ to a B- player. Like if I'm gonna address like the power forward needs on this team, like I just don't.
No. Marvin Bagley's like not gonna start. That's like a nice to have, right? Like more than like we absolutely like need this guy. It's like, oh no, Marvin Bagley can help. I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, every time I think of Marvin Bagley, I think of there's like a meme that surfaces every summer of Nerlens Noel in his ear when like we were like on that like crazy like I think during Casey's last year. Which I'll have to tell. I don't know. Have I ever told you the Nerlens Noel story or no?
I think
I got. Oh, it's freaking hilarious! I got told another one, which is even like more diabolical. Like some of Dwayne Casey's like assistants aren't coaching anymore, and like they're just kind of like doing their own thing. And one of them had told me that when it was training camp, he rolled up like 2 hours late, and he's like going in to get shots, and like one of the assistant coaches like, "Oh, where were you?" He's like, "Oh," said, "I was gonna take a nap, set my alarm, and then I overslept. I was like, I'm ready to get some work in." They're like, "Well, practice was 3 hours ago." He's like, "Oh," and they're like, "Don't even bother showing up tomorrow." He's like, "Okay, bet." It's like, yo, that's so crazy, man. Like I get like being like traded from the Knicks to like the Pistons probably wasn't on like his bucket list,
right?
But, like that's crazy. And like ordering Wingstop in the back and like not like wanting to like play, like like I so want him to talk about his tenure in Detroit because I know it'll just be funny as hell. Like it'll be so funny. It'll be like Charlie Vilvin the way of it talking about how like Corey McGahee knocked out Kyle Singler probably. Like the locker room vibes during the rebuild were probably really bad.
Deservedly so. The team sucked.
Yeah, 100%. Got one more topic. I've been asking a lot of people that have come on who their favorite prospect is at 21 for the Detroit Pistons.
So I like the kid from Stanford, Ibuka Okori. Yeah.
Okay.
And the kid from Texas Tech. Is it Texas Tech or Texas A&M? Christian Anderson.
Okay. Yeah. Texas Tech.
Both of those. I think Okori's more interesting. He's more of an explosive athlete. I worry about his playmaking, but like if you watch like if you do the YouTube scouting, I do, right? Like I don't have synergy. Like I'm not like watching these dudes like that anymore. Like a lot of his assists come in transition. And so it's like, okay, like can he like make like half court reads? Does Stanford ask him to make half court reads? Or like he's like 18, they're just like, you can get buckets. Like we need a guy who can go get buckets because we're Stanford. Like go out and get some buckets. And he's like, sure. But like if you're looking at guards who have upside to give you more than who started a good floor and like have upside, like Okori's like higher on that list. And then Anderson was like much more of a playmaker at Texas Tech or A&M. I can't remember which one. And like you could see his vision like kind of pop through in a lot of his plays. Good shooter, slow release though. Not sure. He's gonna have to speed that up. But but like that's a guy I can see that being like a Danis type, where it's like, okay, this guy like he plays a role in the NBA. Like maybe he's not like, amazing, but honestly, like in the 20s, like you are happy with a bench player. You are happy with like a role player in the 20s.
I feel like this is probably the deepest point guard draft I can remember in quite some time. Like
Yeah.
there's so many great point guards to the point where like there could still be some good ones available in the 20s. Like I like Christian Anderson a lot because I just love how he operates out of the pick and rolls. Like I feel like he's probably the best point guard to operate out of the pick and rolls, and it helps that he does shoot pretty well from the outside, which I could definitely see him playing off ball more.
Mhm.
A Corey, I've had so many people come up here and say Abuka Corey, Abuka Corey. Like, had Zarek say, like, I think he could be the Tyrese Maxey of this draft. Like, that's how high he is on him about Abuka Corey, which I love his handle, man. Like, he's got like that street ball handle, like when you watch him. And like, I think it would be a really good fit. I think a lot of Pistons fans was like, well, what's the differential between a Corey and a Sasser? Like, well, he can actually play make. Sasser is not really like the playmaker that a Corey is, but personally, I keep going back between like Bennett Sturts and then Christian Anderson. Like, I just don't really know like what they'll go. Like Bennett Sturts, I could totally see him just playing off ball way more than on ball. Like when I watch him play a lot, like I see like a little bit of Tyler Hero. I see a little bit of Fred VanVleet in there. Like there's this like so many things about him that I really like. I know a lot of people are really high on Isaiah Evans. I don't know if there'll be favoritism by Trajan there because that would be like his first University at Duke.
More Dukies, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
like,
really count.
You got Chaz Lanier, like you got Isaiah Evans at home. Like you don't need another like catch and shoot guy who's just like mainly a catch and shoot guy. I struggle with Sturts because like he was a really great college player, but like when I watch him, I see like the level of craft and stuff that he uses to get his shots off. It's like, okay, it's like that's great, but like against NBA athletes, like, and I hate to do that to the white guy, right? Like this is not the only thing I do this to. Was like, yeah, against like NBA athletes, like are like you have to work really hard to get buckets. Like, are you like only a step back three guy? Because like then you're closer approximation to like a Sasser, right? Where the main level you score at is from three, and it's either catch and shoot or off the step back. And I think Sturts is like a little bit better of a playmaker, and so there's that. But it's like if that's the case, if defenses don't care if you're driving the basketball, like it's going to be harder for you to play make, right? So that's why I'm more interested in like Anderson and a Corey. It just is like I think that those guys have the requisite athleticism to create advantages or to exploit advantages like created for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really think you go wrong with either of those guys, but I can understand like where you're coming from. Like, yeah, like that's probably getting blocked in the NBA because it's just like in college it might work, but like at the NBA level, maybe not.
On the other hand, if Sturts is like 3 inches taller, like hell yeah, right? Like you love that guy. So there's that.
I know someone in the comment section is just like, I know this is like down the rabbit hole. They're like, Pistons haven't had a good track record drafting white guys. Do I need to mention the unforbidden name Henry Ellenson? I could even go one step further with Kyle Singler. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Like
Steve Van Gundy was calling one of the playoff games. I wanted to yell Henry Ellenson at him so bad for like 2 hours.
Bro,
it's like why, bro? Why?
Pascal was right there, dog. He was right there. I think Malik Beasley went after Henry Ellenson, if I remember. I think Denver drafted him at
I'd buy that. Yeah.
It checks out. But yeah, like I can understand it. Like probably the only other prospect that kind of intrigues me is Malik Thomas, which I mean, if you're just looking for just like a bucket getter, like I feel like he does make a whole lot of sense. But it sounds like the Pistons are looking for more of someone that can play next to Cade. And kind of make his life a little bit easier. I even saw the Sam Vecini report that they might look to draft the big out of Houston. I think Chris Senek Jr.
Oh yeah, I was not. All of the so we're talking right about like how they need a four and how they need a long-term solution at four. None of the fours like in this range impressed me at all, right? The kid
Yeah.
from Houston was just not very impressive. The kid from Michigan,
Mraz Johnson.
yeah, Morez Johnson, like really good college player. Just like the not enough skill, right? Like not enough as a ball handler, as a shooter, as a passer, to intrigue me. Like really, Alan Graves is just like again like not
Yeah.
the hey. Alan Graves is black, and I don't think he's a good enough NBA athlete to to be like a really good NBA player. So it's just like yeah, like none of the fours that are projected to be in this range are like really moving me. It's actually funny. There was I was doing my like preliminary draft stuff, and there's this like 7'3" kid from Italy whose name escapes me right now, who like if you squint, you see a lot of Brook Lopez, but he's playing in like the Italian league where it's like
Hmm.
I don't know. It's occasionally like you watch like European games and you're like, oh, I recognize that guy. Like he played a couple, like he was in the league. These games is like I don't know any of these dudes, right?
Holy crap, dude! He's huge.
He's huge.
Luigi I'm not even gonna try to
Yeah,
pronounce his last name. Yeah,
don't try.
7'4", almost 300 pounds. I could totally see somebody just like saying, "We got a wimpy stopper."
It's like
Like,
that's like as a dart throw, right? Like
yeah,
7'4" dude who rebounds and shoots threes. Like that's worth a dart throw in the 30s or 40s.
okay.
But so like if they don't have a second round pick, if they traded
Mm-mm.
like that'd be something interesting. But like not at 21, like not at 21. But just that's a guy who like as I'm doing stuff, I was like he definitely like stood out.
Yeah, I haven't even like really looked at second round picks just because it's like we don't have one. So like, why
Yeah,
even like do homework on guys
yeah.
that could be second round picks? The only like prospect that I looked that is a second round pick, and he probably wouldn't be one if he wasn't coming off an injury, was Richie Saunders out of BYU. But like that's like an older senior. I don't really know if they're looking for someone coming off a major injury to draft in the first round.
Isn't he like
The,
25?
so I think he might be older than Yaxel. Yeah, like, he's pretty old. I mean, like to me, like that's like the perfect power forward if the Pistons want to get it. But like you're probably giving up a pretty hefty price to try to trade up to get Yax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I so as a Spartan,
Hmm.
Yax was like not my favorite player to watch. But he is really good. And I do think that he's good enough that his age won't be a like a knock against him as far as like
Yeah.
other teams are concerned. So
Yeah, I mean, like as a Piston fan, I wouldn't be too concerned because I feel like he would be ready to contribute like right away. Like whether it's off the bench or whether you feel comfortable with him, maybe just mixing it up with the starters a little bit. Like I feel like transition, he would just be like a perfect fit for like Caden the Star, just to throw lobs to. Can also
mhm.
spread the floor a little bit. The only other power forward that I really like, and it's just because he's an excellent rebounder, is Hans Steinbach out of Washington. Like, um,
He
gives me
was going earlier than he was kind of out of our range, wasn't he?
he's at 15 currently
Yeah,
on
yeah. Because he's a really
thinking
good shot blocker.
yeah, that's why I liked him a lot. I was like,
Yeah.
man, like if you're looking at power forwards to trade up for, like Yax and Hans would probably be the two power forwards that I look at. But I could totally see OKC drafting him, like just kind of reaching for him, like at 12.
Oh yeah, that'd be annoyingly good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how they just keep getting all these lottery picks from the
So
Clippers. And
eventually, like roster spots have got to start knocking loose, right? Like the Bucks already picked up like Usman Jang for like a song, and that was a guy who I was always like he was like G League MVP like one
yeah,
year, and it's just like they just never had a really use for him, and he wasn't like he couldn't crack the rotation, and then he goes to the Bucks, and like when Doc Rivers decides to play him, he's really good. And it's like that, there's going to be like two more of those guys from the bottom of like OKC's roster that are going to be NBA players who just like couldn't play because OKC has 15 NBA players.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember, the Knicks actually traded with OKC for the Jing pick, and then like OKC just didn't use them at all because they just have so many people, man. It's honestly kind of like crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Kind of looking at the second round talent, like maybe they do trade in the second round because there are some like pretty interesting prospects there.
If you want a second rounder in like the 40s, like you can get one, right?
Yeah.
Between NIL and like guys being able to pick their own situation because of the two-way contracts, where like there's 3 two-way contracts now. It's like if you really want to draft somebody at 45, like you can absolutely do it. Like no one cares.
Yeah, I know someone had mentioned like, could you trade up in the second round to get Baba Miller out of Cincinnati, who is a small forward? Which I mean, I will be open and transparent. I have not watched a lot of him, but I see that he shot 19% from three, and like I'm gonna have to watch. He might. I'm gonna just say, man, like he better like freaking just like grab rebounds like a mofo for me to trade up for him at 37.
Yeah, I also don't know much about Baba Miller, but if he shot 19% from three, I'm not going to do a ton of research either. But maybe you're
No,
right.
I
Who knows?
I was trying to talk people into Tonde Yesufu before he did commit back to going to college, which he's transferring to St. John's. So
Mhm.
that's good for them because Baylor was absolute ass this year outside of Cameron Carr and him. But I mean, I want to talk about no spacing. Good Lord, man. Like
Yeah.
I was like Monty Williams spacing at Baylor. Like it was so bad.
It was so funny to me because like I don't watch that much college basketball. I come into the draft like really late. Like I just learned what I can about these guys. And people were like, "Oh, like you should like Pistons could really use Cameron Carr, like blah blah blah." And I would like turn it on. I'm like there's no way this guy's available at 21. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, this guy's good.
Yeah. Like he's a prospect that like I know I'm going off of like Trajan's New Orleans days, but like it could kind of be like his Trey Murphy,
Mhm.
I think. Like he's so athletic. He's got NBA range. I think his playmaking is kind of underrated in a sense. It's not terrible defensively. Like you want to reach for someone, like I see him anywhere from 15 to dropping down to 18, but I'd be shocked
No,
if
I
like
could see him at like I could see him
12.
earlier than that. Yeah, like
I
12.
could see OKC. No way.
Somebody
No,
that is
no
the
way.
type of player that like somebody falls in love with, right?
Yeah. Like I don't like to me, I feel like you'd have to trade Ron to get him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like why wouldn't the Miami Heat draft him? Right? Like that's exactly the type of player that they are looking for.
yeah, or maybe not looking for. Maybe they trade that pick.
Or why wouldn't the Milwaukee Bucks trade it or pick him? And that's like,
Yeah, I don't know. The draft will be interesting. It really will. I know someone just texted me that Danny Ainge might go with Cameron Boozer over Darren Peterson just because of the Carlos Boozer connection in the front office. And I was just like, eh. I mean, I would still draft Darren Peterson because I think him and Keontae George would be nasty in the backcourt together.
I am a little surprised the Jazz owner hasn't just been like, Danny, just make the trade to one. Like I don't care. Like I put like literal years of my life into making sure that Debanza like ends up in Utah long term. Just do it. Like I don't care.
Did you see that? I don't know. You probably don't. Gilbert Arenas asked him, he's like, "Oh, do you want to play for your hometown?" And he's just like, "Bro, I'm from Boston. I'm not from Utah. Just because I played at BYU." Bro, like he dead ass is stone faced him. He's like, "I'm not from Utah. I'm from Boston." I was like, "Yo."
You're right. I did not see that, but now I gotta look that up. Oh my god, that sounds hilarious.
You gotta look up that interview, bro, because like he like dead ass just looked at him. He's like, he doesn't know where I'm from.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's like, okay, how many there's not many dudes who are willing to move out to Utah, prep for high school, go to BYU, and then like go to BYU, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a rare breed. And so you could be forgiven for being like, oh, like that must be like the hometown, or like, oh, there must be like some kind of connect. And it's like, even if it was all for the money, like, yo, like how much money was it? Like it's Utah, bro.
Yeah, it's like the NIL. I know the NIL checks were probably hitting. Like, I think he was making like $12 million just to like be at BYU. It's like, hey
Yeah,
man, I'm not mad at
I'm
it.
not
Like,
mad at it.
I'd probably live in Utah too, man. I'd
But
love
like,
it.
you live in Utah for like the 6 months that you're in college, right? Not for like the year and change that you're there for high school as well, right? Like you don't take two bags. You don't have to.
No,
It's like just
man.
you
Like
go
that.
to Montverde like everybody else. Like why not?
Yeah, I mean, the only prospect that I actually got to cover in this draft was Darius Acuff because he was in Detroit for a little bit, and then
Yeah,
he's just like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna go to IMG Academy. Like, I don't want to play at Cass Tech anymore." Even though, like, man, at 15 years old, he was just doing stuff like 15-year-olds should not do. He was doing like in and out dribble step backs from like 35 feet. I was like, bro, like this kid's 15. Like, what's going on? Like, dude, there's no way. There's no, and he plays at Cass Tech on top of it. Like, why isn't he playing in a Catholic league? Like, why didn't they buy him? Like, because that's what they do. They just buy these kids. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm not saying anything people don't know. Like, I just saw
yeah,
some kid that transferring from Roseville, and all of a sudden he's going to Birmingham Brother Rice. I'm like, you don't live in no Roseville.
yeah.
No way.
So it's like I went to Country Day. We had a couple of those kids.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Lance Cruz, which our athletics was terrible. Like, we actually
Yeah.
got caught. One of the kids said he was like 16 and he was like 19, and he had like all these scholarships, and like he got caught. Like, he had so many D1 scholarships. He averaged like 30 a game, and everyone's just like, "Are you sure he's 19?" I was like, "That's or 16." I was like, "That's what he says." I mean, like six eight,
He's like,
doing windmills and stuff, like just dunking on kids. Like, yeah, like went to the state championship, but we still lost. It's just like, man,
it's like he's got his driver's license. His driver's license says he's 16. Like, what are we supposed to do?
yeah, man, like I swear, my school was always in scandals for like all the wrong reasons. Like, still to this day, like a bunch of little kids is vandalized elementary school. Like, they took like a bunch of rocks and just like threw rocks at teachers' cars like at 1 a.m. I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, cool. This is like, man, like that's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, my like preps brush was I saw Monte Morris lead Flint Beecher to a state title at Breslin. And despite the fact that he was like 6'3", he was just like so very clearly like the best player on the floor. And it's just like, huh. It's like he's only 6'3", but like, is that guy an NBA player? Like maybe it's like that's a possibility.
Yeah, I got to cover Monty Williams' son like when he was coaching,
Out in
and
Texas? Wasn't he in Texas?
yeah, when they were here, they moved,
Oh,
and
okay.
he went to Brother Rice for a year.
Okay.
And this was like during All-Star break because they had like their winter classic of like playing at Oakland University.
Mhm.
And I remember Monty walked into that gym and the erupt of booze and these kids just throwing anything they could. Bro, I was like, I had to be professional. My face is beat red. I am dying. I'm laughing. Like, I fell over my chair because I was like, yo. I was like, that is crazy, dog. Like the Catholic kids are probably some of the most unruly kids like you'll ever be around. Like they're like throwing like full cans of pop at him. I'd seen it like he walked in. I was like, dog, you guys gotta chill. You gotta chill, man.
That's so funny.
It was during the losing streak too, so it made it
Yeah,
10 times
well,
funnier.
yeah, it's like, and it's not even like your parents are like, oh no, have some decorum. The parents are like, nah, forget Monty. Like, boom, go ahead, I don't care. Who gives a shit?
I know. I still remember the camera guys. I can't believe this bum showed up. I was like, yo, you guys need to chill, man.
It's like he's being a good dad. It's like, yeah, I know. We want him to be a good coach. Get out of here.
Man, that was probably the funniest thing I've ever got to cover in like high school sports. That and like Trey McKinney, who's at Michigan right now.
Mhm.
Man, there was this little kid. I can't remember. He might have been like 5 foot, and he dunked on him so bad that like his shorts almost fell off. Like the little kid's shorts, because he was like running backwards and he dunked on him, and it's just like they had to pull his pants up. I was like, yo, it's hilarious.
Oh man, there's nothing like prep basketball. It really isn't.
No, it was a grind doing it, but I don't miss doing all the highlight reels. We got the parents like, I want every basket that my kid made. I was like, he had 6 points, so that's 6 baskets. And you want me to include the misses too? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, because there's like 10 of those if you want me to do that.
If you will throw those in there. Like, hey, maybe you need some film to get this guy better.
Telling you what, man. But Zach LaVine, probably not. Probably not. I feel like if you wanted to trade for Zach LaVine, it would have been 2 years ago.
Yeah. He's an expiring deal though. So
is he?
I think so. I think this is his last year. I think it's a player option.
Kings confuse the hell out of me, man. That's just like,
I mean, no, they're bad. They weren't trying to be bad, but they're bad.
Oh, he's on a player option. You're right. 48 million.
Yep.
I mean, what would they want though? Like that's my thing.
Like, do you think he forgoes the 48 million to just get the hell out of Sacramento? Like, is that worth 30 million? He just like signed for like 15 someplace else. It's just like, thank God I don't have to be in Sacramento anymore.
I mean, does he like pull the, hey, we're gonna trade you to Detroit? I think I need another ankle surgery again. Like
or that, yeah.
Kings rumored to get Akoff. That doesn't surprise me, like where they're at. If Akoff falls, like I could totally see Akoff go into the Clippers. I could see him.
No, I've seen the Clippers really like the kid from Illinois, who I don't think is that good.
Keaton Wagler, yeah. I mean, everyone keeps saying like he's the next Tyrese Halliburton and Shea. I was like, just because he can play off ball doesn't mean he's gonna be the next Shea. Like he's really good. Like
that's another guy where the level of athleticism is definitely concerning.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I know he's not going to be in our range, but I really like Kingston Fleming. Like the kid is so athletic. But maybe the Kings draft him. I'm not sure. Like I think they're at 7 they are at 7. So I mean, but Brooklyn's right ahead of them. I don't know what the hell Brooklyn's gonna do, man. They just drafted
will Brooklyn draft another point guard? They drafted 4 point guards last year. They're gonna draft another one.
I could totally see them just like shitting their pants and just drafting like a Daymara or like Nate Ahmet. Just like, hey, we're gonna be different again. I'm like, okay. You guys do that.
Wait, I feel like I read some tweets that they had like promised Nate Ahmet already, which is if you want to, sure, I guess.
I mean, he's either gonna be a Jabari Smith Jr. or he could be like, a Kawhi Light. Like, there's no in between. Like, there's just so many similarities with those archetypes. You never really know, but it'll be interesting with them. I could totally see them just like trying to be different because that's what they did last year with Igor Demon. Just like, hey, we're gonna be different. But Zach LaVine on the final year of a contract, that's interesting. I don't know. I know like Pistons fans were kind of calling for him, but I feel like everywhere he's gone, it's kind of just been like cancerous.
Yeah. The other thing you gotta think about is like if you trade for him, it's $48 million. Like where is that money like coming from? Is that like you're placing like Stu and Duncan and a third guy like with Zach LaVine? Like is that really what you want to be doing with $48 million? Like I don't know.
Yeah, like if you want to do like Karis, Stu, and whoever,
to
try to get up to that 48 million. Like, do the Kings even want that? That's the other question you have to ask.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like they kind of have a guy that's like a Walmart version of Stu and Dylan Caldwell. Like, I don't honestly, like he's actually like when I watched him, I was like, dude, like that kid's actually pretty nice. Like I'm
Yeah,
kind of surprised he went under the radar, but
yeah.
I don't know what it would take for Zach LaVine. In Sacramento, like it sounds like they're just trading off everyone. Like Sabonis could be available, which I was kind of a big Sabonis guy a few years ago, but now I'm kind of
But
like,
like, who needs a Sabonis, right? Like, who's like a Sabonis away from like being really good? Like, it's again like the bigs who can't shoot and don't defend. Like, you can be really good, but it's like that skill set valuable from your center?
no, not at
Yeah.
all. He's good at passing a little bit out of DHOs, but like it's like I don't really want to be committed to that money. Like when he was in Indiana, I thought he was at least like take a gamble, see what's there. But like they were so early in the rebuild that it's just like, yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
But I don't know what Sacramento's going to do. Looks like they're going to be in another rebuild, and they got their former coach coaching in the NBA Finals, and their former point guard playing in the NBA Finals. So.
Right. Oh yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. It was a lot of fun, a lot of jokes about collegiate, Port Monty, but I don't know how much you contribute anymore at the Detroit Bad Boys, or like where people can find.
It's really more of an emeritus position over at Detroit Bad Boys. But yeah, if you still want to read my sporadic thoughts about the Pistons and the NBA at large, you still do so on Twitter at Last Chance. That's at LAZCHANCE. One of these days, I'm gonna remember my fingers know how to work, and I'm gonna write some stuff. Maybe it'll be on Substack, maybe it'll be on Detroit Bad Boys. I have not decided, but eventually we'll get back there.
I know from time to time I'll get someone saying like, "Why doesn't Laz do podcasts anymore?" I was like, I have no idea. He was really good. He was really good. I mean,
it's like the reason I don't do podcasts anymore is 4 years old and sleeping right now.
Yeah. Like I 100% understand it, man. Like I had to look back. I did over 150 podcasts throughout the season. I was like, yo, like that's insane. Like I've been enjoying my summer vacation. I'm not even gonna lie. Stayed up till 4 a.m. editing everything. I'm like, yeah.
I don't miss that life. Not gonna lie.
No, not at all. But I do appreciate you. I'll leave your social media links for people to keep up with you on Twitter. I don't know if you're on any other social media links that you want people to find. Probably not. So I won't link those. But appreciate you coming on as always. We will be live a couple more times this week because I'm a dumbass and I overbooked you guys. So we got podcast on Wednesday and then we got podcast on Thursday with no ceilings. But hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And as always, go Pistons. Peace.